by the actions that he makes the characters commit, makes you feel like the bad guy, like the person who's in the wrong, because you are. And I find that you can see that throughout the story. You force Noel to freeze people solid. Every other time you're in combat, you are making these characters run away. Yes, you can recruit them, you can lose them forever, yada yada yada. They are dead. But by freezing them, by holding them still, you have essentially killed them. We don't see them any lightener ever, like any darkener, I mean, become unfrozen. They are all stuck in that position. And we are essentially doing what I think the worst version of Noel would want. Where Noel normally is scared of change, of new scary things happening, and her not being prepared for it, we're taking that meaning where Noel would normally, if we go through the story normally, would be able to rise up and like those scary things, those new things, those things that change in her life. We are forcing her to go down the worst possible route. We are, by freezing these darkeners, we are leaving these things as mementos in time, things that will never change. Noelle will never grow, will never become better. She'll just become worse, stuck in place as this frozen statue. And Birdley is the culmination of that. Birdley is a childhood friend of Noel. So by us literally freezing him, we are removing all potential growth, potential change, potential to become a better person. We have stuck Birdley, this child, into a moment in time in Noel and Chris's memories. And I find that when you look at Snowgrave and the freeze ring as holding somebody in time as a memory by removing any chance of growth or progression, it's a much more dark and saddening story. You are not in life. People will lose things, they will gain things, they will grow, they will change, they will become better or worse. And as these things happen, we are meant to adapt to them. That's what the whole point of the normal route is. But when you go through the weird routes, you decide, no, I don't want to change. I don't want to grow. I don't want to become better. I will just hold these things in place. Arrest everybody's development. Arrest these people's chance to become better. And I find that through the weird route, you can see the worst of everybody's story. This is just over chapter 2. And I think that you can see it's even worse in chapter 4. I think the Thorn Ring is, to me, meant to symbolize a toxic marriage. During the weird route, we force Chris to become masculine. We make them become dominant. We force them to lead Noelle around like this child, like this woman. I'm calling her a woman in a derogatory sense, not in an uplifting sense, because in a patriarchal system, women are less than men. They are unable to be as smart, as strong, as mature as men. So we force Chris to become this stereotypical man, this dominating, unchanging, unfeeling force that sees Noelle as lesser than them, and we are forcing Noelle into this role. And these are two characters who don't have defined gender roles, and whose gender and sexuality are very close to them. Chris's identity as a non-binary character is incredibly important to the story of the first chapter of Deltarune by making you feel like you're, puppeteering this mindless thing and then flipping it on its head when you see them take control of their own body and see them retain their non-binary pronouns. And Noelle's story of her romance with Susie is very important to her self-actualizing, breaking out of this shell. It can be Noelle's whole point in chapter 2 is like a soft coming out story. She spends her whole life before this moment hiding herself, hiding who she really is, who she really loves, who she really cares about. And by the end of this story, she has self-actualized. There's no thing holding her down anymore. And Birdley as well, by the end of the chapter 2's normal story, he has learned to put down those walls that he was putting up in order to keep people around and by the end of the chapter, he knows that